Hi, everybody. My name is Gary Davis, and I'm so excited to be a part of the Ohio Association for the Education of Young Children and a presenter for the Ohio Early Childhood Conference. Again, my name is Gary Davis, and I am the owner and CEO of Water Lily Learning Center, and this year is my 10-year anniversary. I also have a master's degree in business management. I am the author of an Amazon bestseller, CEO in Stilettos. I'm the co-founder of an upcoming female entrepreneurship conference called Lead Her Heart, Energy, and Revenue Conference. And I am a strategic business coach, supporting driven and ambitious women in business who are ready to step out of overwhelm and move from stress to structure, from being under pressure to increasing confidence, increasing profitability, and increasing possibilities to design the life of their dreams. I am looking for female entrepreneurs who are ready to re-strategize, rebrand, and reignite their businesses. And today I'm here to present to you marketing success for childcare leaders. Now, I do want to let you know that I am a team of one. And so as I move to the next screen, just give me a second to pull everything up. It's going to take me a moment to get everything situated for you. All right. Should be able to see the screen now. So, marketing success for childcare leaders. If we were in person, I would take a moment and introduce my friends to you, and we would make more friends. This is a picture back from 2019 when I was at a retreat in the Bahamas and I met new friends. One of my friends was an executive from Google. One was an executive at Porsche. One built retirement homes in Oklahoma, and the other one was an insurance agent in Jamaica. And so I met them. We are still friends to this day. I talk to them often. And we actually were having some rum cake, which is a big hit in the Bahamas. So we would normally do an icebreaker, but we're virtual, so we have to skip that. But next year, hopefully, we'll all be in person. This workshop's objectives is to define your market, to know the different types of marketing and how to use them, how to communicate with your customer, excuse me, and ways to recognize your marketing mistakes. This training is content heavy, it's full of content. And so I'll make it exciting as possible. But if marketing is not what you do, it may be a little bit too much. But all I want you to do is glean from it what you can use immediately to make some positive impacts on your organization. So, with the rise of technology and social media, the world of marketing and advertising is bigger than ever before. Marketing goes beyond printed ads, billboards, and even television commercials. But before you can even jump into marketing, you really need to understand the landscape of your business. You need to understand statistically what are the numbers and how do they relate to your business. So I've done that for you today. And we're going to look at Ohio, but I did compare them to the United States. And I did get this information from a place called America Child Aware. So you can look this up every year just to get the basic statistics on the landscape of the childcare industry. In Ohio, children in two-parent families, both parents in the labor force, is over 300,000 families. Children in single parent families with one parent in the workforce, of course, is over 244,000. And the total children under age 6 who need care is over 500,000. So if there are over 500,000 children in Ohio that need care, then most likely There is enough children for everyone to fill their programs up to capacity. But the reason that we're not doing that is because we're not marketing effectively. This basically looks at childcare programs. There's over 500,000 slots, total spaces available in the childcare programs. 97% of people choose childcare centers, about 3% choose family home care. Out of all of these programs and spaces, about 1% of all of them go to infant and toddlers, 16%, 1% to infant, 16% to toddlers, about 1% to preschool age children, because we're in competition with public school systems, so this number is pretty low, and 82% for school age children, because of course they need a place to go after school while their parents are still at work. So what is marketing? We're going to jump into exactly what marketing is, but I don't want you to confuse it with the act of selling or increasing a sale. These are channels to reach people to create sales. So marketing, there are several different channels, and you use these channels that fit best with your organization to reach people so that they make a purchase. But before you do that, you have to determine what is your product. And our main product in childcare is a childcare slot, a childcare seat. I don't know what you call it, but basically you have infant seats, you have toddler seats, preschool and school age for the most part. And your goal is to find ways to attract people to you so that they can buy these, rent these, lease these, or use these over a period of time. And you want all of the seats filled at all times, of course, but you do have to find a way to reach your customer. So on this slide, I have a short little video about marketing. So in this training, we're really going to focus on marketing, getting your service to customers that can afford your service. So what is a market? This is where you conduct business. And in this place, you need to identify your customers. Most of them have shared interest. And this is how you find potential customers. So basically, the market is this place where all of these people are hanging out that need childcare. But they might not need childcare at your center, but they're all hanging out. And you need to figure out what is it that you can bring to this market to introduce to these people that are there that are going to attract them to your center versus the center next door. So you need to identify your potential customer. Who is your potential customer? Your target market exist within this entire market, and how are you going to bring them into you? What are their interests, their buying habits, their values? What do you know about them that's going to make them choose you over and over and over again? So when you're looking at marketing, I don't want you to think about it as selling. I want you to think about something that's grabbing somebody's attention so that they can't look anywhere else, and so they can start down the path to choosing you. You're trying to figure out what their needs are and connecting to them on a level that nobody else is, so that when they think of childcare, when they think of quality, when they think of where they want to send their unborn child or their child after school, that the first place that they think about is you. So everything you do with your marketing needs to leave that impression on them. What are you doing in your building that's going to make them come in your direction? That's going to make them choose your center versus leaving them at the after school program at school? Or what's going to make them bring their infant and trust you to take care of them versus the center right across the street? So you're not particularly selling to them, you're creating a place so that they can make an informed decision. And in creating this space, you have a lot of control because there are certain things that you can do to push them forward to choosing you. And we're going to dig into that deeply over the next hour and a half. I want you to think about your customers' needs and wants. So when I bought my first house, I did not have a garage. And I knew that I would have to have one if I ever purchased another house. I didn't think about anything else but the fact that I had to have a garage. So when I sat down, I wrote down all the things that I wanted and all the things that I had to have. What did I need? And when I bought my next house, it definitely had a garage. So what is it that your customers want? For example, well, let's compare this to your wants and your needs. I need water to live. If I don't have water, I'm going to die. But I like to drink Sprite. But if I don't drink the Sprite, I'm not going to die. So that is a want versus a need. What is it that your customers have to have? Do they need to find a center that provides diapers and wipes, or would it be something that's just nice for them to have? Do they need to find a center that serves food, lunch, and breakfast? Or is that something just nice to have, something that they want, but if they don't have it, it's fine? Determine what your clients need, people that are choosing you, bringing their children to your organization. Understand what they want and what they need. Then you can determine how you can benefit them, because you can't benefit everybody in the market. The only people that you can touch is the people that are your target. And then once you determine why and how you can benefit them, you will be able to answer the question, why should they buy from you? So understand your customers' wants, understand their needs, understand how you benefit them, and then you will learn how and why they will buy from you. You need to define your product or service, but we've already done that. We're selling, not really selling, but we have childcare seats. That's our product. That is what we want to attract our target clients in, to bring their families, their children in to fill one of these seats in our business. So you need to know every aspect of the product or service that you're going to deliver. What is it that you offer that nobody else offers? Do you have a Spanish program in one of your classrooms? Let's say in your preschool classroom, you offer Spanish, or in your infant classroom, you offer baby sign. Is that important to the consumer? Is that something that they're interested in? Is that something that they would love to go back and tell all of their friends, my baby's learning sign language as an infant, and then their friends start calling your center to enroll? What do you offer the consumer? You need to really hone in on what are the qualities and benefits that your organization offers that the center nearby does not have. And then you need to promote those to your client base so that they know that you have it and they're attracted to come and tour and enroll. But you still need to know who your target audience is and where they hang out, what their interests are, and why they would choose you over another center. But you do need to know every aspect of the product or service, like I said. So you need to maybe sit down and write down a list of why should you choose me? Oh, I forgot to say that I do have a booklet available. I don't think you see it. Okay. I don't know. Booklet available. If you didn't download it, for you to fill in, it's a workbook. And you can fill it in as we go along. And at the end, you'll be able to create a marketing plan to move forward when you return to work. So just wanted to throw that in there. We have some case studies. I'm going to fly through the case studies because they do take up time and we only have an hour and a half. So this case study was about a lady that opened up a childcare center and she opened it up for 24 hours. Well, her problem is that she didn't do the proper research and didn't understand that the people that worked in her area literally only worked 9 to 5 jobs. They were highly professional. They worked 9 to 5. They were willing to pay for her care, but they don't need care at night. So she was wasting money on marketing to people that are not awake to bring their children to childcare at night and spending money on employees because she was expecting children to be there. So do your research and make sure you understand the landscape and the people that you're going to be serving so that you are not expending dollars where you shouldn't have to. And this is what she did in her case. We want to get into different types of marketing types. Some common things are like TV ads, newspapers, flyers, websites, coupons, social media. But we're going to jump into the different types so that you can really understand how you can use these to impact enrollment at your centers. And maybe find out things that you might like to use and things that may not be a good idea after all. So when you think about direct marketing, you're really thinking about flyers that you get in the mail. There are times when I come home and there's a flyer or a piece of paper stuck into my door about somebody offering lawn service. So these are direct mailers that you can send to people to offer them childcare. I know that the public school around the corner from one of my centers does a bulk mailing, and you can do a bulk mailing too. If you go to your UPS site, there is a way to pick a targeted area and mail postcards directly to them. You do have to drop the postcards off. It's a whole process, but there is a way to do it if you're interested in doing direct mail to customers. We've done that before. We did get a couple of enrollments out of it, but it was an expense and we've never done it again because it wasn't as great as some other things that we've tried to do. And once we started learning more about our customers, it wasn't the best use of our marketing spend. Okay, so you can do outdoor signs like daycare here, or signs that you stick in the grass for enroll, saying we are enrolling or we're hiring, or, those types of signs. Those are direct. That is what direct marketing is all about. Directly marketing to your customer or consumer. All right. Then there's active marketing. It's similar to direct marketing, but different. This one actually focuses on individual consumers and their wants and needs. I think this is a more intimate type of marketing because you, as the person that is doing the market, it's actually sort of a conversation, whether it's a phone call, if you're doing like online live events, or responding to people's blog posts or just regular posts on Facebook. But more importantly, it's also networking. So how you network and how you introduce your program and how you talk about your business in all of these different ways is active marketing. So later on, we're going to talk about how to do an elevator speech, but active marketing is you, by word of mouth, contacting other people and letting them know how awesome your program is and why they should bring their child to your organization. 1, 2, 3 reasons why they should bring their child to your organization. Like, have this ready, because you never know who you're going to meet. You never know who you might run into. And you might just one day be at the grocery store picking up some milk, see a few ladies there that have children, and just start chatting with them. Active marketing your business. Hey, I see you have a couple children. We have a quality childcare program right down the street. Have you ever considered putting your children in childcare? Oh, no, I haven't. Well, awesome. I'd love to talk to you about our program. Do you have some time to set up some time to meet with me, maybe later on today or this week? Actually, I had a friend do that. I told her, give out 10 flyers every day. She did that. She enrolled one child every week for 3 weeks. I mean, you just have to be comfortable marketing your childcare center. So active marketing. The next is incoming marketing. This is all that social media piece. A lot of childcare centers and people that I've talked to, they don't even have websites. And today, that is one of the ways that people are locating you is online. And even if people do have websites, they are not optimized. So you can't really find it. So I suggest you find a way to create the website yourself that helps you with optimization, or you hire somebody to do it. It is money well spent because it gives you an online presence. People are out there looking for you. Don't you search food near me when you're looking for a restaurant? Sometimes people are also searching daycares near me. So make sure that you do have a company website. You can also put a blog on your website or participate in other people's blogs. It just gives you notoriety and gives you a footprint in social media, and you become a subject matter expert, and people will lean in on you for that reason. And you know, there's so many social media channels: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for sure, YouTube, and your customer might be in all of these places or just one. So at one of my locations, my families are heavily invested in Facebook. So the director at that location, she is heavily invested in the forums and groups in that area. So she makes posts, she makes comments, she engages with the community through Facebook. And that is one way that we increase our enrollment in that location. So all of your clients might not be on all of those platforms. Find what's best for you, but social media is not going anywhere. So you have to become a part of it. All right, so that's incoming marketing. Outgoing marketing is things that we don't see a lot of with childcare centers, but it's like television ads, radio ads, having a telemarketer call and promote your business. Like, we don't see a lot of that. It can be expensive. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It's just another avenue for you to try. I've tried that as well. We did a television ad before. I don't feel like we had gotten the return that I wish that we had gotten, and we did not enroll any children using the television ad that we had. What we could have done as a result is tweak it, change the times that it was shown on television. We could have increased our marketing spend so it could have been showed more often. There's a lot of things that we could have done, but there were other ways that we were increasing enrollment. So this outgoing marketing thing just didn't work for us. And it doesn't mean that it won't work for you. It's just another avenue to try to reach your ideal clients. Another case study, this training is full of case studies because, you know, it's usually in person. When Pat went to market her program, she chose outgoing marketing to open when she opened her childcare center. Her ads were expensive and she didn't see the return that she expected. So she went ahead and increased her budget. But she still had limited results. So what she decided to do was use a different type of marketing. And she decided to use, it just says she's decided to use some different types of marketing. So if we were in place, we would go over maybe what would be some different things and the pros and cons. And so after crunching the numbers, she realized that, you know, incoming marketing, social media was going to provide her with the largest return on her investment. And so that's what she chose. And she saw an increase pretty much immediately. Guerrilla marketing. Don't you love this picture? I love this picture. So guerrilla marketing is an event that's huge, bigger than life, larger than life. You have these oversized displays, these PR stunts, public giveaways. It's like a fair, interactive advertisements. I've never seen a childcare center do guerrilla marketing. I would be interested to see that happen. I do have some ideas under my sleeve that I might like to try, but as of yet, we haven't done guerrilla marketing. But this picture gives you a great idea of exactly what it could look like if you decided to do it. Now, if you decide to do guerrilla marketing and you want to put that wow factor in there, please invite me. I have to come. I need to see it. I want to see how it works. I want to know what goes on. And then ultimately, I want to know, did you get any clients out of it? Did you increase enrollments? Did you sign anybody up? Let me know. There's two other types of marketing: business to business and business to consumer. Business to business is when you're marketing directly to other businesses. The only time I could think that you might do this is if you want to create a partnership with another business to possibly increase your childcare seats or slots and offer them a discount. I tried to do that as well. There's a casino down the street, and I thought that it would be a great idea to work with the casino for people that want to gamble at nighttime but didn't have childcare. And we would stay open late so that we can serve these clients. I learned that those were not my clients. I did not want to stay open late. It was not conducive to our budget. It was not conducive to our quality rating, and it just was not working out. So there are ways to market to businesses and partner with businesses. There's some creative ways to do it. You can look into it. There may be some businesses right in your area that you can work with to increase enrollments, network with them, and maybe have some social things going on back and forth between you and that company. And then there is the business to consumer, which is the B2C marketing. These are things like coupons or discount flyers that are given directly to the consumer to focus on, of course, bringing in clients. So the business to customer marketing is directly to a customer, whereas the business to business is directly to a organization. And that's the difference. There's opportunities that exist in both areas. It's up to you to decide which one will work best for you and your organization. So this is something that I love to do at my center, is promotional marketing. I'm really good at that. I think we've had some really good successes. So I'll tell you some things that we've done. Sweepstakes entries. We have never done that. We've never had a sweepstakes. And I feel like sweepstakes and raffle tickets are kind of hand in hand. But the sweepstakes entry is something that, we've never really done, but we have done raffle tickets. And this is how we did the raffle tickets. We wanted to improve our Google rating online. We had received a really bad rating and we really wanted to increase the rating. And so we asked our parents to submit a Google review online for exchange for a raffle ticket. And once they finished, they would win a prize. And so we actually got some engagement out of that. We did have some parents to go on and add some really good reviews, which all are definitely true. And that increased our parent engagement. It was a fun activity and we gave away a nice gift. Cash back incentives is kind of, listen, if you want to enroll your child, after 4 weeks, we will give you $100. That's an incentive. But you do want them to be enrolled for a certain period of time because you already want your money in advance before you start giving money back. And you do want to give them a time to keep their children enrolled because after a certain period of time, like, why would they leave, right? They won't leave. They're going to stay. You're going to give them their incentive, $100, and they're going to stay and refer other people to you so that they can get $100 too. Or a cash back incentive. If your friend enrolls, we will definitely give you $50 as an enrollment, as a referral fee. Or the other one is a chance for free services. If you enroll your child for 3 months, then you will get a month for free. Now, if you calculate that, it seems like you're really losing money, but ultimately you have that child for all of that time and you may have them for the whole year. And so you're giving away a little bit to get a lot. But if you're in a very competitive market, it may take something just like that to get them in the door. So think out of the box, think big, and think of crazy things of how you can entice these customers, but make sure that they are your target customers and this is exactly what they need. Case study. I'm telling you, they're all through here. So the CEO of Happy Time Daycare has a small marketing budget, but needs to expand its customer base. So this case study is about what are some ways to do it. We would normally sit and talk about it. In this instance, they decided to do a flash mob. They said everybody's going to meet at 12 o'clock in the parking lot at the daycare. And then they wanted to draw in a crowd and make the news. And so in some ways, it happened to be a success for these people that did that, but it came with the pros and cons. The pros was that the new customers were drawn to it, the fun-loving company. They really got excited and they really loved it. But the bad thing was, the con was, they didn't even reach out to anybody in the neighborhood, and all the neighbors got mad. All the potential businesses, the existing businesses on the side of them were mad because of the noise and the ruckus that it caused. So one of the things you can do is, if you're deciding to do something big like this, then you can just incorporate the other businesses with you and just have fun for all involved and increase your enrollment and increase your profits in doing so. So now we want to talk about the 4 P's of marketing. I'm sure that you've heard of this before, but if you have not, it's product, price, place, and promotion. Each of these elements are linked to one another, and they all need to be integrated and coordinated to be effective. If it's handled correctly, it will satisfy your target audience and it will create support for your brand. So this is imperative. 4 P's of marketing: product, which you already know, price, place, and promotion. So let's jump into that. So your product goes through 4 stages: the introduction stage, growth, maturity, and decline. So this is called the life cycle of your product. So the introduction phase is when it's introduced to the market. I'm not sure when childcare was introduced to the market, but that has already happened. The growth stage is when the market accepts the product. That definitely has happened. The market has accepted childcare. Now, the next is maturity, and that's when sales begin to slow after the market is flooded with it. Well, we haven't gotten to that stage yet, have we? We're still in the growth stage. After that is decline. It means that nobody even wants the product anymore, and so they take it off the market. So what can you relate this to? You can relate this to the iPod. Remember the little iPods? You had headphones, you could listen to them and turn a little dial and listen to different music. And before that, it was like a little cassette tape and you had a headphone. So you had that, then you moved to the iPod, and now no one even has iPods anymore. They just stream music on their phones. And so iPod was introduced to the market. It grew exponentially. It matured, started falling off because everybody had one. And now it no longer exists. It's all gone. Nobody has them anymore. Nobody needs them. So there was a decline. Thankfully and gratefully, we are still in the growth stages of childcare. So there's still business out there for us. We're just finding out how to get it. The next is pricing. There's 2 pricing models. One is value-based and one is cost-based. Cost-based is what did this product cost to make? How much can I sell it for? And the profit that I'm going to make off of it. Value-based is how I create a price for my business. I feel that the value of childcare is underrated, and I provide high quality childcare every day for the children that attend my center. We have credentialed teachers. We have hot food served and cooked every day with love. We have an educational based foundation. We provide research-based curriculum. We do assessments and observations. Don't you do all of these things for Step Up to Quality? And what is the value placed on this? What is the value for a parent to bring their child somewhere where they are happy, they feel safe and secure, the parents like your staff, the staff engage with the parents, and the children are happy? What price can you place on this? Well, there definitely is a price, but you have to price it out to meet your market. You can outprice your market and nobody's going to buy from you. You can be the highest person there and they might choose to go with someone a little less expensive to meet their budget because you don't really know your market. Or you can price yourself out by making your price so low that people think you have a low quality product and they don't want it. So you need to find that sweet spot and figure out how to assess the correct price that people are going to pay you for your services. The next is promotion. You have to promote. How do people know that you exist? How do they know what's going on in your organization? You're going to advertise. You're going to fill some of these childcare seats. You're going to do publicity on the news, in the newspaper, on social media, and then word of mouth. People are going to talk about you and your business and how great you are and the great things you're doing in the community because you are going to be telling them and they'll see it happening. So this is how you promote everything in your business. This is one of the 4 P's, and you have to integrate it with everything else that you're doing. All right. It's just one part. You have to do everything. And then it's placement. So placement is basically easy to determine with your center. The place is where you're at. You can't up and move your building all around, but placement matters. Think about the grocery store. When you go to the grocery store to buy corn, there is some corn at eye level. They paid for that. And the corn that's on the bottom shelf, they paid for that, but it was definitely a lower price. And it might be some corn high up that you can't really reach, but the corn that is right at your eye level that you can see, that is a prominent placement in a grocery store because they want you to buy that. Think about when you go to IKEA, everything is placed in a certain way so that you have to walk the entire store and look at every single piece of merchandise before you leave, unless you know the shortcuts. So that gives you an opportunity to look at other things and hopefully provoke you to buy things. So where you place things are important. This should be about 20% of the cost of everything that you're doing. This whole marketing piece should be about 20% of your budget. That's what it costs for this whole system of marketing to reach your potential client and to get them to buy. So be prepared to spend about 20% on marketing. You can do it maybe at a lower cost, which would be great because we always want to save money, but be prepared, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to increase enrollment or you've seen a decline in your enrollment and you're trying to get back to normal levels. Okay. All right, case study. So Casey, she had an 18% decline in enrollment after the first years of business. And so a lot of times we get comfortable, right? We open our businesses, children are coming in and we have teachers and everything's going great. And then somebody opens a new center right down the street. Everything's new and fancy and they're doing all these great things in there. So what Casey didn't realize is after being open for a few years and a center opening nearby is that people would prefer to go to the new center. Everything there is new. Everything there is bright and shiny. They have all these new programs that she doesn't have. So what she had to do was assess the situation and take a look at her competitors and see what she needed to do to fix that so that she can start competing with the other centers and increase her enrollment. So that's what this case study was about. How can she, how do you determine what's going on in order to fix it going forward? So communication. I love communication. Uh, Communication is essential to successful marketing. Poor or unfocused communication will not help close a sale. Communication requires practice. It requires understanding of value, the value that you are bringing to the market, and entertainment. So just imagine there's 20 people at the market and they're all looking for childcare services. And you and four other people rush up to the market. And everybody has a way of communicating exactly what these people may or may not need. They don't know, but you've done your homework. You already know out of all of these 20 people, 6 of them belong directly to you. And you are ready to present them with the value of your program. So bring them in, give them a tour, introduce them to your facility and your staff, and sign them up because you've done your homework and you know which client is yours and what they want and what they need and what they value. And you're able to present it to them and provide a little bit of entertainment in the meantime, right? So the elevator pitch is how you're going to do it. The elevator pitch is also called a marketing pitch. And there's 3 things you need to do. Number 1, be concise. Always be concise. Write it down and practice. So I have one here for you to practice in the book. And it basically goes like, I'm going to look at it. As a result of what your child care center provides, our children or families benefit, our children or families experience. And then you talk about the benefits. Just pick 3 benefits of them doing business with you. I am looking for individuals who, be specific about what you're looking for. Do you know of anyone who might be interested in my services? So example, as a result of what Water Lily Learning Center provides, our children and families experience the benefits of having diapers and wipes provided for them, lower ratios in our infant and toddler classrooms, and we, I just lost my train of thought. We provide diapers and wipes in our classrooms. We have lower ratios, and our teachers are all credentialed in the classroom, so they're able to provide better care for our infants and toddlers. I am looking for any individual who might have an infant or toddler that they're looking to put into an early child care setting. I'm looking for somebody who's willing to put their child into an early child care setting. Do you know of anyone who might be interested in my services? So I know I really screwed that up. I'm trying to read from the script and keep track of my time, but it's an elevator pitch. It's in your form. All you need to do is write it down and practice, 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 practice. And so when you're in a situation, when you're at a networking event, when you're in the grocery store, when you're on a Zoom call or doing anything, you'll be able to use this elevator pitch to bring people into your center. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to work on yours, and then I will be right back online with you. Whew. All right, I'm back. Did you get a chance to write down your elevator pitch? I hope so. And like I said, just rehearse it. So when you're out and about, if you need to use it, you definitely can use it. I need to brush up on mine as well, of course. Um, but it's very important that you're able to promote your childcare center. You don't have to use that speech per se or that format, but definitely have something in mind that you can use. And you definitely want to have a call to action at the end. Do you know anybody that might need my services? Do you know anyone looking for childcare? Do you know anyone interested in quality childcare environment? Something, you have to have something to ask them so that their brain wants to give you an answer. Either they don't know anybody or they might keep you in mind. If something comes available, if somebody asks them, they will keep you in mind and refer you down the road. So have it available, be concise, and practice. Of course, again, you want to sell the value, not the price of your program. Only 1/3 of people buy on price anyway. People buy what's important to them, what they value, what they think is important. So take some time after this training is over to list all the strengths of your program. It can be 5, it can be 25, but write them all down, because this shows people that the service that you can offer. So how do we sell value at Water Lily? We have scripts that we use when answering the phones. Now, they're not always using the scripts because they're used to having them now, but scripts work so that when they answer the phone, they are immediately providing value. And they're able to give information to people when they call as to why they should choose our program. There's no guessing involved. It's right there for them to read off of a script. And it sounds way more professional than someone calling you and drilling you with questions over and over and over again. And you never know why they were calling in the first place. So let's find out what they're looking for, what they want in a childcare center, and what's going to promote, what's going to help them to make a decision on whether or not to choose your program over somebody else's. So maybe you want to write a script for the person answering the phone in your center. And one of the things it says at the very beginning is smile, 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 because it goes a really long way. And you always want to sell the value over the price because people are going to buy that in the first place. All right. So I want to go over this, how we're communicating this brochure that I had, this little brochure that I had that I dropped off in several different places that brought us so many enrollments. We almost filled an entire preschool classroom with this right here. So I just want to go over each aspect of it. So, you know, we said we wanted to be fun and exciting and powerful. So I really wanted it to be colorful. Now, this was back in 2017, 2018. I have stepped up my marketing strategies and my flyers look way better, but still this was just as effective. I had my logo up here because it's my brand and I want it to be recognizable. I want people to see it. There's this flower, this water lily flower. This over here is the parent, the teacher, and then this is the child in the middle. And they're all working together. And the colors represent something as well. I mean, it's all put together and this is our logo. We were 4-star Step Up to Quality. I wanted everybody to know that. We were partnering with Preschool Promise. Right here, I said, bring this ad in and I'll give you a $100 gift card after 4 weeks of enrollment. All of the children here is a diversified environment. The children are happy, the teacher's happy. Everybody at Water Lily is happy. I told them what we're doing. We're now enrolling for 2017, 2018. What am I looking for? Preschool 3 and 4-year-olds. What do I have to offer them? I have a quality preschool program. Transportation is available. Tuition, they can do vouchers and or Preschool Promise. So there is a way to pay for it. Down here at the bottom, I have the name of the center, the address of the center, the website. And over here where you can't see, I have call today to enroll. Spaces are limited. And we filled up almost a whole classroom with this right here. We passed it out by hand. We put it in the little corner store down the street, and people were actually calling off of this ad. I don't know if it was a $100 gift card or, exactly what it was, but, I felt like it was interesting. It was catching, it created a buzz. People were excited about it. Some people didn't even know we were there. And like I said, we brought in several preschoolers into our program. So make sure that whatever marketing materials that you're using, that you have these elements on there. What are you asking for? What do you offer? Who are you? What's in it for me? WIIFM. What's in it for me? What does your environment look like? What this is going to speak to them before you even get a chance to talk to them. And how can they reach you? And what is your call to action? Never, ever, 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 ever leave that off. It's super important. So you also need to choose the right media. How are you going to reach people? How are you going to touch base with them? How are you going to get them to look at you, to choose you? You can use television, very expensive. Messages might be ignored. How often do you leave when a commercial comes on? Or how often do you fast forward past the commercial so you don't have to watch it? Or watch it later so you can miss all the commercials anyway. You can use publications. Those are okay, but many people are not really reading publications anymore because they're online and they want something quick and fast. You can use the internet, banner ads, Google ads, things like that. People do read those. We have gotten enrollments from Google ads, and social media. On one of my childcare centers, I'm not sure if I said this already, but they rely heavily on social media. So we make sure that we are on social media with them, especially if we see an upcoming need for any of our classrooms, so that we can kind of bring people in and enroll them into our program, because ultimately that is the goal, is to enroll them. So catch their attention, keep them engaged, so that when it's time for you to ask for the sale, ask for the enrollment, you already have someone to contact. Now, I love this, is where she says, a goal without a plan is just a wish. And how many of us have gone along without a specific goal in mind, hoping that something would happen? No, we need to put it in writing. We need to put it out in the universe, let everybody know this is what we're doing. Write it down. Don't wish for it to happen. Make goals for your business. Make marketing goals and enrollment goals for your business. So case study, Nikki did some homework before she opened her small business. She wanted to make sure she had everything intact. So she studied the market. She made charts and graphs and did everything that she was supposed to do. But she was surprised when nothing worked. And so she had to do further research. And she was surprised to see that a lot of people were going to her competitor because their marketing was a little bit more fun and entertaining, and it reached the target market that she was trying to reach. So essentially, again, know your customer. Now, customer communications. Communication is never one way. Communication is always two ways, even if the other person is not saying a word. What your customers communicate with you is just as important as what you communicate with them, if not more so. You need to put on your listening ears. You need to listen, 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 listen. You need to listen in order to communicate with them. Listen more than you speak. You'll definitely learn some things and be able to incorporate them better. All right. So let's talk about communication. The first thing you want to do is give your customer a voice. You want them to feel like they matter. What they say is important. You want to address their problems immediately, as soon as possible. And you want to, when they have a problem and they bring you a problem, I want you to address it as soon as possible, no matter what it is. Don't put it off to the next day. Try to address it within 3 hours, no more than 12 hours. If something happens to go over to 24 hours, okay, things happen, but really, really, really try to be on point when your customers are bringing you problems. You don't want to lose them because it's going to be harder for you to bring in another customer than retain the one that you have. And a lot of people will up and leave anyway. With one small problem, they'll just up and leave. So you want to make sure that you are listening to them, you're talking to them, you're engaging them, you're creating authentic relationships with them. So when something happens, they feel like they can come and talk to you about it, and they don't feel like they should just abandon you altogether because they're leaving you. They're taking their children out of there. The children have to start over. You have to find new enrollment. I mean, it's a lose-lose situation all over. So really, really try to take problems head on and solve them immediately. Like I said, increase the retention of people in your program, make your clients happy. And it also improves your brand. You know, now when people are mad, they go straight to social media and they blast you. It's happened to us several times where people just go to social media and they lie, or they tell the truth in the feelings the way that they seen it happen. And ultimately it creates a problem. It creates a problem for your brand, and people start looking at you differently. So you want to try to mitigate any type of problem that you foresee based on a customer being unhappy. You need to find a way to allow them to give you feedback, because it's not about you. It's all about them, always. You need to understand what your customer view is. And what they value. So the way that we do that is by surveys. Every year we do an annual survey. Last year, and you know, it was to be expected, but the parent said, we don't feel like you communicate with us. We don't know what's going on in the classrooms. Even though we have a parent app and the teachers are constantly sending them pictures and messages and videos on a regular basis, they still feel like we are not communicating with them. So we created a newsletter, and now it goes out every month at the beginning of the month. It touches on several different things: what's going on in the center, what's coming up, child development things, according to the age that your child is in. And we just email that to them every month. Now, if they open it and read it, you know, we'll be communicating with them. So hopefully they will. But if not, when we do the survey again this year, we'll take a look at it and see what the parents say and see if there's any way we continue to improve. But most of the time we get great feedback. Our teachers are mentioned by name. They love the center, and they do tell us the things that they value. So the things that they love, we continue to promote those things. And in turn, we bring in more of our target audience, our target clients. Every interaction you have always counts. So like I said, manage authentic relationships. Be honest, have integrity. Look for marketing opportunities. They're out there everywhere. You just have to be looking for them. Once you start focusing on them, they're just going to start popping up everywhere. You're going to see them everywhere you go. Treat people with respect and never waste any opportunity. One of the quotes that I love is, there's no such thing as luck. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So be prepared at all times. So when something pops up, you're already ready to go. And your competitor is not going to be where you are because they didn't come to this training and they don't know anything about this. So as soon as this opportunity pops up, you'll be the first one in line to get it, because now you're looking out for these opportunities for you, for your business, for your teachers, and for the rest of your staff and your target audience, your target client, right? Now, integrity is a huge thing for me. It is just one of the most important things. Being honest, walking in integrity is so super important. So you can't treat all the complaints the same because they're coming from different places. But if you're getting a lot of complaints that are the same, that means you need to do something about it. You need to communicate respectfully. Don't lie. People will not trust you. They will find out and they will not trust you. And trust is really important because when people come to your program, they do need to trust you because you have one of their most valued possessions with you most of the day. So trust is important in childcare. And then you should personalize your answers according to the people that you are talking to. So we had a traffic jam situation outside. You know, we're downtown, there's traffic is bad, and our parents were blocking up the streets on both sides. We asked the parents to only park on one side of the street and go in one direction. And most of the parents were complying. We sent out 3 letters to let everybody know this is what you need to do, is causing a problem. It was the exact letter 3 times. So hopefully after 3 times, somebody would read it. Well, there was still that one parent that would always decide to pull up on the opposite side of the street and block the road. Well, after almost having an accident and an argument occurring outside, we decided to talk to that one parent individually. We could have sent a whole nother slew of letters out, wasted a bunch of paper, but the most important thing was to talk to that one parent and let them know the problem that they were causing with this traffic jam and that they could no longer pull up and park in that way because it was creating a disturbance for the people that live on the street, as well as people trying to drop off and or pick up their children. So don't communicate with everybody when you have a problem with one person. That's a note about your clients and a note about your staff. Just a freebie I wanted to throw in there, okay? Case study, Janice had a 27% drop in her sales after 2 years. She did more advertising, but she was still not retaining customers. So she had to figure out what was going on. So what Jane did was drive up to her school and observe when she wasn't scheduled to be there. And she noticed how her staff treated the customers and noticed that is why people were leaving. So she immediately implemented a training program. She let go of some employees that held some sloppy ways that you don't want in your organization. And she did some customer surveys to make sure that she was focusing in on the values of her customers. So those are some things that you can do. You can do a drive-by, see what's going on when you're not there, or look at the cameras, or, you know, observe as you're walking down the hallways, just to ensure that your staff is treating customers kindly as you would want them to. So, marketing goals. I said you need to have goals. Remember, you need to track these things. Marketing goals provide the direction of the marketing campaign that you're doing. Without goals, how would you know what needs to be done? Goals need to be long-term, broad, and provide aspirations for what you want to achieve through marketing. Ultimately, you can want more exposure, more brand exposure, or you can want more enrollments. You decide what it is you're actually trying to do. You might be wanting to increase your like, know, and trust factor online. So you want more likes and shares of your content online. So decide what it is that you're trying to accomplish. We're always trying to accomplish a wait list. So we always want to make sure that we are putting our marketing efforts towards driving enrollment into the center. Repeat purchases. I want to give you some statistics in just a minute, but you have to have repeat customers. They're easier to retain than going out finding new customers. Providing awesome customer service is the way to do that. You can also have some loyalty programs, which I don't have any in my location, but they do have them at places like coffee shops, where if you buy a certain number of coffees, you get one for free. You can definitely think of something like that for your business. And, you know, definitely have direct communication, authentic relationships with the people in your business. But I do want to give you some statistics that I think you really need to know. Acquiring a new customer can cost 5 times more than retaining an existing customer. The success rate of selling to a customer you already have is 60 to 70%, while the success rate of selling to a new customer is 5 to 20%. One customer experience agency found that loyal customers are 5 times likely to repurchase, send another child there, 5 times as likely to forgive when you've made a mistake and you've apologized. 4 times as likely to refer other customers to your place of business, and 7 times as likely to try a new offering. So how about you decide to sell a coloring book for a fundraiser? Well, the people that are already there are 7 times more likely to buy it, even though they might not even need it or use it. Or say you made a calendar or you did something, the people that are already there, your customers that are there are going to be the ones infusing funds into your business. American Express did a study and found that 33% of customers will consider switching companies even after one instance of poor customer service. 33%. So that's how important customer service is. And, you know, right now, a lot of childcare centers have openings, and someone could easily remove their child from your program and take them somewhere else just for one little silly mistake. So you want to make sure that you know what your customers want, you know what they need, they know the values that you bring to the table, and they're loyal to you because they've been there for so long and they want to have repeat business with you. Brand loyalty is important. Again, this is my logo. It's on everything. It's on t-shirts, it's on hats, it's on pins, it's on little rubber bracelets, it's plastered all over the wall, it's on the internet. This is our brand. This is Water Lily Learning Center. It hasn't changed. We haven't changed the logo. We're planting seeds and inspiring brilliance. That's our tagline. So you can find some brand champions. Those are people that love you, love your center, that will be willing to help promote your brand. Draft them and bring them in and interact with them and engage them so that they can help you reach other people just like them so that you can entice them to bring you business. That's what marketing is all about. You can give them perks like shirts and hats and pins or whatever you have, but also listen to them because those are your ideal customers. That is your target client. These are the people that you want to bring in to your business, and you want to know where they're hanging out because the rest of your clients are hanging out with them. You want to be able to inform and educate, and that's what social media is all about. Your presence on social media shows your expertise in the childcare industry, your passion for the childcare industry. It shows that you are a vested investor in the childcare industry by putting your fingerprint on social media. So all you need to do is post, interact, engage, answer questions, talk to people. You can also write newsletters, do webinars and things like that, but social media is easy, it's out there, use it. Use it to your benefit and make an impression on people that may be looking for childcare in your area. Another case study, this is about a magazine. Someone had a magazine, it was a paper magazine, and she was spending a lot of money on it. So she decided to invest in figuring out how to create an e-zine. So she did it electronically online. And over a period of time, she saved so much money because she wasn't wasting paper or ink or anything like that. And she was sending directly to her clients. So this is a great idea. This is something that you can create for your own business. Send it out 4 times a year, a magazine, or it doesn't even have to be a lot of pages, maybe a 4-page little magazine that you can send to your families to engage them and keep them enthralled with everything that's going on in your childcare business. The marketing funnel. So in your book, it talks a lot about, there is a page that you can take notes on the marketing funnel. And I want you to really, really pay attention to the marketing funnel, what it's all about and how it works, because this is how you're going to get people into your business. Think about how a funnel is. It's really, really big at the top, and then it gets more and more narrow at the bottom. So at the top of the funnel is the market. It's all of those people that are out there that may need childcare. And then at every level, you're going to weed out people that are not your target. And then you're going to end up with a smaller amount of people down at the bottom who you can reach, who might need your services immediately or later. And you're going to market to these people. Some people, like I said, they're going to be ready to buy today. Some people might not be ready to buy for 6 months, but you're going to nurture them over that time and provide them with information about your business, awareness about what's going on. You're going to do fun and exciting things, send them brochures, send them postcards, post on social media, tag them, or boost the post to make sure they're included in it. But you're going to do everything that you can do to take this huge funnel and market it down to the people that you know are your ideal clients, your target market, and bring them on in to your business. Okay. So market funnels are traditional tools used by marketers. You may have heard about them before. The marketing funnel contains stages that customers take on the way to purchase your product. The funnel might vary slightly, but there are basic stages for the AIDA funnel that remain exactly the same. So the first A is awareness. This is the first stage of the marketing funnel. This is a stage where the consumer is first exposed to your product, right? There's different ways that they become aware of it. Somebody might have told them about it. They might have seen it on social media. They may have driven past your business. They could have called here 4C for children and they gave them your number, but they're aware of your business now. They're in the first stages and they may or may not be ready to buy, but they are aware. And that's the first step, that somebody knows who you are. They know that you exist. You're important right now, but you're still in a category amongst a lot of others. So they're just aware and they know about your business. So you definitely want to make sure that you always create positive experiences. I always tell people, your name is being spoken in rooms that you don't even know about. You don't even know about. And you always want to make sure that that is something positive that they're talking about and pleasant when they're speaking about you and what you provide to the early childcare field. So the first stage, awareness. Second is interest. So they know who you are now, and now they want to know what's in it for me. So this is where you start advertising your benefits. What is your unique service proposition, your USP? What makes you different? What makes you better? Why should they choose you? Remember I said, make a list of 5 to 25 benefits of why they should choose you. This is where it comes into play, because now people are interested in you. You need to tell them why they should choose you. You know, what is your advantage over the competition? How will you solve their childcare problem? How will you meet their childcare needs? This is this part, the interest. Now, when you're working through this marketing funnel, you should write it down. In the awareness stage, here's some things I'm going to do to move people from awareness to be interested. And now that they're interested, let me show them all the reasons why and the benefits in coming to this childcare facility and why I know that they are my target customer and this is how we're going to help them. And after you do that, the next step becomes desire. So now they're interested, right? You piqued their interest a little bit. So now you need to figure out, how do I inspire them to keep moving forward? How do I convince them that my childcare center is going to satisfy all of their needs? Do I offer incentives? The incentives that we talked about before, do I want to do a raffle? Do I want to do a rebate? How am I going to pull them in here if they're not moving fast, if they're not ready to immediately jump right now? What can you do to pique their desire to be a part of your program? Do you need to call them and talk to them and have several convincing conversations about how great of a childcare business you are? And if so, do you have your list of benefits that you can tell them about? Do you have a script to go by to figure out what they value and what they want and what they need? Is this really your customer that you're ready to move to the next stage? This is the desire stage. Okay. Once they experience this desire, it's easy to flip them over to take some action, but you have to move them through this stage as well. It is a process. So how are you going to convince them that your childcare center is going to satisfy their needs and fix their problem? And next is action. This is where action takes place and they say, yes, I want to enroll. Where's the paperwork? Sign me up. When can my child start? This is action occurs and they actually purchase and they're ready. That's the last stage. And then you do want to know what happens when they take action. You know, do I give them a book? Do I give them we give a coloring book or a regular book when someone signs up. But I've heard of so many things that people do when a child signs up for a center. They send them out a welcome email. Some people write them a handwritten note. What's your process like? Now they've taken action. How are you going to show them that you appreciate them? Do you go ahead and offer them some coupons like, well, by the way, once your child's enrolled for a certain period of time, we do have referral bonuses. So if you refer other people, you know, what are you going to do to take action? You know, and also the call to action. Remember, by now we only have a limited amount available. Enroll today, we only have 2 spots left. Make sure that you are moving them straight to action and that you have everything ready for them to take action. Your paperwork is printed out, it's in a nice presentable format, and you're ready to move to the next stage. And after they're signed up, that your process is in place to onboard that child to your center, whatever your process is. Ours is pretty intensive, but yours is what yours is. So make sure that there is a process in place to do that. Another case study real quick. This guy was curious about a marketing funnel in his organization. He noticed that few customers were taking action. So he started offering incentives both physically and he offered some on social media. And it actually helped to increase his business. So when one thing doesn't work, you might have to revert to something else or do 2 things at once. But do you see this picture of this funnel? That's what I was talking about. All of these leads up here leads to your customers down here. So be prepared to work that funnel and write down each step, the AIDA, and fill it out so that once it starts happening, you'll be more easily able to recognize it and implement it in your program. All right. Next, we have some marketing mistakes that people make. So, of course, there's mistakes that are made all the time. But the thing is, you have a lead against everyone else because now we're going to talk about these mistakes to help you avoid them. Marketing is essential for driving your business. If done correctly, marketing will increase sales, improve customer relationship, and that's why it's so important to avoid the common mistakes that people make when marketing. The first one is not taking social media seriously. Without it, you can't maintain contact with customers. You need to make sure it's monitored. There are applications or apps that you can monitor automatically, post automatically online. So look for those, use those, find a social media manager, but make sure that it's updated and monitored carefully. Not responding to customers can harm your relationships, and lacking consistency between platforms will create doubts. So if you're on Instagram and Facebook, be on Instagram and Facebook. If you cannot maintain both of them, pick the one that your client uses the most and use that one. Don't try to do everything. Do what you can, but make sure that you do have a presence and take social media seriously. People are really using it to make buying decisions these days. You need to have a unique serving proposition. Some people say selling, I say serving, because in this industry, we serve children and families. So we talked about this. What is unique about your brand? What is unique about your organization? What factors separate you from the competition? How do you find that out? You call or you visit or you ask or you talk to a parent that came from there, but you need to find out what's going on next door to make sure that you are offering other services that they don't have, or that you're offering a better service or upgrade of a service that they have. And then, of course, what is important to your customers? That's how you create your unique service proposition. You need to know all of these three things. What's special about you? What's different? How do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? And what do your customers want and need? And once you have that in place, it makes it so much easier when you're marketing, because you're not all over the place. You know exactly who you're looking for, you know exactly where they are, and you know exactly what they want. Another thing that you want to be aware of is cross-cultural and international translations. So, you know, everybody's not from the United States, so everybody doesn't speak perfect English. And sometimes when we're marketing, we forget that. So we want to make sure that we are using words and phrases that people can understand and translate easily, and try to use words that don't translate in their language to something different. I don't have an example of any of these words. This has never, ever happened to me. But I know that in some centers, there are people from other cultures that come there. So we need to be sensitive to that and make sure that our marketing addresses that and that we're not offending anyone. So the next is not building a relationship. I said so many times during this training that you need to build authentic relationships with your customers. And authentic means really true, pure relationships. So you do have to know your customer. And we've been talking about that the whole time. Maintain regular contact. So you can text message them. You can use a Remind app. I've used that in the past to stay in constant communication with them. You can email, send out email blast. If you have a telephone prompter like the public school system, you can do that. You can greet them at the door every morning with a happy smiling face and say good morning and ask them how they're doing. But you do have to build these relationships. And when you see something going bad, you might need to be a shoulder to cry on or lend them your ear so that they can talk to you about it without becoming too involved in their problems or their business. But make sure that you are able to be contacted. You need to respond to their emails pretty much immediately, as fast as you can. We know how work is. It's always something going on, but you do need to respond. And then you need to treat your customers as individuals and not focus on trying to always handle the problem by addressing them all at the same time. Another case study. This is Betty. She decided to create a social media account for her childcare, but she didn't know anything about social media. She had one employee and she had several attempts to go out and try to improve her social media and increase her social media presence, but she did a terrible job. And so this case study is about finding and using resources in your business to help with things like this. So she was able to use her one employee that she had to help her with her social media, and then she didn't have to do it anymore. And this helped to increase the presence. So learn how to delegate and find out what talents your staff might have, or other people that you might know that would like, maybe a parent might want to volunteer and do your social media for you. So that was that case study. Another thing that people fail to do is having no plan. You don't even have a marketing plan. You're just out there hoping that something's going to stick after you throw everything to the wall. You need to know your target market. We've talked about that. Your unique serving proposition. You need to establish a price. How are you going to establish it? Like I said, I use the value model. You need to be able to communicate your brand. So that is your elevator pitch. And then you need to know how you're going to reach your customer. You have to have this plan in place in order to market your business effectively and efficiently and reach the people that are going to bring enrollments to you. You're going to reach the families that want to enroll their children in your program. Not having any target at all. Like you just throw your net far and wide and you hope and pray that somebody's going to enroll. That doesn't work. You can't please everybody and everybody is not your customer. So find your target market and use your marketing dollars effectively so that you can grow your business. And then after you've done that, you need to have some metrics in place. You need to measure. You need to have a lead source. Are you getting people from social media? Are they finding you by driving past your business? Are people just randomly calling places from Google? Where are these people finding you? You need to track that. You need to know the lead source. How many leads are you bringing in from that source every month? And how many seats are you filling from those leads? And that's how you figure out where should you be investing your dollars? Like, where are you converting the most people from? And how much are you spending in these areas? Like, this is what the scorecard is all about. People create scorecards all the time. I don't know how to do it. That is not my expertise. But Fiverr, there are plenty of people on there that will create this scorecard for you. All you need to do is produce the information for them, and then you can get a pretty scorecard just like this. But again, it needs to be monitored, and you need to determine a time frame. Are you monitoring it every week? Are you monitoring it every month? Are you monitoring it every quarter? Every year, that's too far apart. So at the farthest that you would want to monitor would be like a quarter. I would say do it monthly. Not listening to your customers, we talked about that. You need to make sure that when you are listening to them, that you do have your listening ears on, right? We talked about that. Listen to the keywords and phrases that they're using. See if you're hearing the same thing over and over. And if you do, it might prompt you to make some changes. Don't make assumptions that you already know what's going on. Listen to what they're saying so that when you implement a solution and you use the information that they're giving you to make some marketing decisions, that you're moving in the right direction. And if you don't understand, just rephrase for clarity. Communication, remember, is key. Make sure you're doing that. Another case study. Isn't this a nice childcare room? I really like it. She opened this center, Janice did, thinking that it would benefit everyone. And she marketed to everyone, the whole community, the blog she marketed to high-end people and people that could barely afford childcare and did not fill her space at once. And again, it's saying that you need to know your target market. This place is beautiful, but it's not beautiful if it doesn't have any children in there, and it's not going to stay open. So you need to know your customer and adjust your marketing vision on attracting those customers that are going to buy from you. So we're going to take a minute and wrap up. We're almost done. I hope that your journey to improve your marketing skills has actually worked. I do want to take a minute to say, I am excited that I've been able to present this information to you. I had a slide in here. I don't know what happened to it. It's not here anymore. But if you want to reach me, my website is www.garydavis.com. It's GARRIDAVIS. So www.garydavis.com. I am so interested to find out if you're able to take this information to make immediate and positive changes in your business and your marketing plan going forward. So on the last page of your book, there is this complete plan that you can fill out and start to use immediately. You know who your customers are. You can write that in here. How are you going to reach your customer? How are you going to communicate this to them? And then what is your funnel? So normally we would have time to work on that. But if you do need help, feel free to touch base with me and let me know. I do want to take a moment to thank you. Let me stop this and stop my share. I do want to take a minute to thank you for joining me for this Marketing for Childcare Leaders session. You could have joined anybody else's session, but you took time out with me and you had patience as I maneuvered through my technicalities of being a one-man, one-woman show. So I appreciate your time. I wish you the best. I look forward to seeing you somewhere, sometime in the future. And you have a great day. I will see you soon.